All right, hello. We're doing the quiz review for 4.5 to 4.7. The first 4 questions are going to be something similar to this, solving one-step equations using fractions and rational numbers. Now, I've set this up here. The way you solve this is you do the opposite of what we're doing to the variable. So what we're going to do is subtract this from both sides. Now, if we subtract this from this side, it's going to be no longer there. So now A is by itself. But for this side, we have to do 11 and 2 over 5 minus 2 and 1/3. Sorry about that. 2 and 1/3. All right? Very, very simple. So I'm going to shift this over so you can see it a little bit better. Shift it over here. All right? So what we have to do before we do anything else is make sure that the denominators are the same. They are not the same. What number can 5 and 3 both multiply into? The answer is 15. So we're going to write this problem again, but with the denominators being 15. So 11, 15, right here. And then minus 2 and 15 down here. If you notice, I haven't done the numerator yet. We're going to do them right now. We ask ourselves, how did the 5 turn into 15 only using multiplication or division? We multiplied by 3. So what are we going to do to the numerator? We're going to also multiply by 3. So it's going to be 6. Same question here. How did the 3 turn into 15? It multiplied by 5. So we're going to multiply the top number by 5, and it's going to be 5. Now, we're going to solve this problem by simply subtracting 11 minus 2. That gives us 9. And then 6 minus 5, that gives us 1. The denominator does not change, and our answer is 9 and 1 over 15. Okay? Make sure that you know that you had to subtract. If you're adding, you need to subtract. If you're subtracting, you need to add. If you're multiplying, you need to divide. If you are dividing, you need to multiply to solve for the equation. Okay? Very simple, no problem. If you have any questions on 1 through 4, any more you want to see, I chose the subtraction or the addition one because you guys are still struggling with that and it's a little bit more brand new than the multiplying and dividing. Okay, so now we're going on to the next ones. If you have any more questions or you want to see a multiplying and dividing one, ask me in the first 5 minutes before the quiz begins. Okay, question 5 through 8 is going to be on inequalities, writing inequalities. Okay, remember these are all the inequalities. We're going to have less than, looks like an L, greater than, kind of looks like a 7, somebody that doesn't know how to write 7s. Okay, less than, greater than, this is less than or equal to, this is greater than or equal to, okay, and then this one is does not equal. Okay, now just make sure I said less than or equal to here, right? Making sure. All right, so these are the 5 options that we have. Now the sentences are going to come up, they're going to be like, at most, let's say the amount of students I can have in class is at most 25. So let's say S for students, okay, and at most 25. Now, at most means that you can be 25. So we're going to write this, meaning it can equal 25. But 25 is the absolute maximum. So it's going to be, S is always going to be less than 25, or at most it's going to be 25. Okay, so the question will have a sentence that'll say, the amount of students I can have in a class is at most 25. And then you have to write inequality like this. Now that's probably the worst, that's probably the most difficult one we have for those questions. Because some of them are very simple. Because I can say, I have more than $30 in the bank. So you say, okay, so the bank, he has more than $30, so he's greater than $30. The amount of money he has in the bank is greater than $30. Those are simple, okay? So those are the kind of questions you're going to get from 5 to 8 on the quiz. Very simple, straightforward questions. Question 9 through 12 is going to be on what we did on graphing inequalities on a number line. Remember, a number line is this. 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. All right, so let me move this so we have some space to write some questions down. All right, so for this question, let's say I tell you the question is G is greater than and equal to 2. Okay? So the first thing you do is make a circle on 2. I should change the color of that so then you can see it better. Make a circle on 2. Okay? Then you check if you have to fill it in. There's a line. It is being underlined. It means it can equal 2, which means you fill in the 2. Okay? Then it says G is greater than. So then you have to point an arrow in the direction of the numbers that are greater than 2, which means this direction. Okay? Very, very simple. 3 is greater than 2. Okay? Now let me show you another example. What happens if I don't have this underlined section here? If I don't have that underlined section, then I do not have to fill in that 2. It still goes in the same direction because I'm looking for G is greater than 2. So you're pointing at all the numbers that are greater than 2. Those are probably 9 and 10 look like that. 11 and 12 look like this. The top is not there, and it'll be graphed, okay? It'll be graphed. So there'll be something like this, and it'll go that way, okay? So for the last two questions, 11 and 12, you have to figure out what this is on the top. So you have to actually write an inequality formula. So here we'd write, okay, so let's say the letter is B. So B is, and then let's write -1 on this side. Now we have to figure out, is he pointing at numbers that are less than -1? Or is he pointing at numbers that are greater than -1? He is pointing at numbers that are less than -1. So B is less than -1. The line you're making is representing B. And that's what the quiz is going to be on. If you have any questions, ask me in class, in the first 5 minutes of class. Hopefully I get to everyone's questions. Hopefully you have no questions. Enjoy the video. Bye.